In this video, we got another episode of this series where I rate and improve your guys' teams. You guys will send me your teams on Twitter at X7Tanaka. I'll put a tweet maybe every couple of days asking for teams, and then you guys reply down below with your squad, how much MT you guys have, and then you do have a chance to be featured in one of these rate your teams videos. But if you guys also want to comment down your team and how much MT you guys have down below on the YouTube comment section, I'll try to go through as many squads as possible and give you guys my best suggestions to help upgrade your squad. But looking at the first team here of the video actually comes in from my boy Power DF, so shout out to him for actually commenting his team here. Gonna try to give him my best suggestions. He's only got 7,000 MT to work with. He's saying he could definitely sell some stuff though to try to rack in as much MT as possible. So for the squad, don't think he really cares too much about a rating, but for the squad upgrades, what I would do is sell Anthony Davis, Derrick Rose, Joel Embiid. That's what I would start out with. I mean, Devin Booker you could sell, but I think he's a good enough point guard that he can be your backup. But I would say sell Derrick Rose. He's sort of expensive, don't need him. Sell Anthony Davis and sell Joel Embiid. That should easily put you up over 100,000. I would say probably closer to like 150 maybe. So I'll work with like 150,000 MT. For your 2 point guards, I would say for now go Devin Booker and Manu Ginobili. Might upgrade that at the end. I might upgrade that at the end, but first off, Devin Booker, Manu Ginobili as your 2 point guards. For your 2 shooting guards, I would go AK-47 and Rudy Gay. If you want to sell OG Anunoby, you can, because I don't think you really need him. And then for your 2 small forwards, I think you can honestly go cheap and just go Josh Smith, go Karl Malone. Very solid small forwards. If you want some other options, guys like Jonathan Isaac are really good. Even Brian Scalabrine is pretty solid. I think your 1-2-3 combo on the starting and the bench could look something like Manu Ginobili, Devin Booker, AK-47, Rudy Gay, Josh Smith, Karl Malone. You can maybe run Lauri Markkanen if you do like that card instead of Karl Malone or Josh Smith. And then for your power forwards, Anthony Davis not going to be there, Joel Embiid not going to be there. I would say probably start Artis Gilmore as your starting center. You can maybe bring him off the bench if you wanted to, but I would say start him at center. Actually, no, bring Artis Gilmore off the bench as your backup center. And then I would say go starting center, go Mark Eden, about 50 to 60k, super cheap for how good he is. And then for your starting power forward position, just go ahead and get Marc Gasol, only about 10,000 MT, definitely in this kind of price range. So your starting lineup will be Manu Ginobili, AK, let's say Josh Smith or Karl Malone, Marc Gasol, and then center will be Mark Eden. I think that's definitely a competitive squad, I would say, starting lineup wise. And then off the bench, I would go Devin Booker. I would then go Rudy Gay, let's say Karl Malone or Josh Smith or Lauri Markkanen. Backup power forward, I mean, even a guy like Dirk's pretty good if you can afford that. So I would say Dirk's a really good option. And then for backup center, run Artis Gilmore. That's what I do with your squad power to upgrade your team. And I think if you can make that squad, you know, you can obviously use different players if you like them more in game, but I think that squad is a lot more competitive. Looking at the next team here though, coming in from King Dre, I think it's how you pronounce it, 500,000 MT to work with, and he does have an absolute god squad of a team. For the suggestion, or sorry, for the rating first, I mean, this has got to be what, like a 9 or 9.5 out of 10. A really good team. I'd say probably a 9.5. For your suggestions, I'm kind of looking at 3 different cards: Zion, Draymond, and Kareem. I'd say is probably the 3 upgrades you want to make. So first off, Draymond, I would just go ahead and get probably Luka Doncic, especially having KG at the shooting guard position. What you could also do is just move KG to small forward and get AK-47 for your backup shooting guard. So then your bench 1, 2, and 3 can be Luka, AK, and KG. I think you've got great defense, size, and offense off the bench there. And then for your backup power forward position, I would say if you want a taller power forward, you might have to spend a little bit more MT to go ahead and get a Taco Fall, maybe a Kareem Invincible if you could, but I don't think you can afford that. Dikembe is honestly not a bad power forward as well, backup 4, but Taco Fall is probably your best bet. And then you can maybe start Taco if you want to next to Mark Eden, or have, you know, him off the bench with Jokic starting. But I would look for Taco Fall probably as your starting power forward. That's what our, starting power forward Taco, and then bring Jokic off the bench next to Rick Smith. I think your team does become now a lot better. Looking at the next squad though, coming in from iSnipe, he's got 700,000 MT to work with, and another really good squad. I'd say another 9 to 9.5. I think your starting lineup, I'm not even going to touch. I think your starting lineup is perfect to go. I would say you should really want to upgrade your bench. Guys like KPJ, Zion, Hakeem, I think could all be upgraded. So backup point guard, once again, if you want to go Luka, if you want to go Ron Artest, I think those are great options. Hero MJ, he's now like 100,000. So those are the 3 best options. Even Heater Turkoglu, if you want to go super cheap. For this squad though, I'd probably go Luka Doncic as your backup point guard. I keep Big Z there at backup shooting guard because at backup small forward, I would either go AK, Kevin Garnett, Josh Smith, Karl Malone. Those are tons of different options. And then you know what you could even do is you can put a card like Jonathan Isaac at the power forward position, and then you can just basically run Big Z as your backup power forward. So this could be your bench. Let's say Luka Doncic. So we go Luka Doncic, Big Z, AK, Jonathan Isaac, and Mark Eden. Because then in game, Luka will be your point guard. Probably AK will be your shooting guard, Jonathan Isaac will be your small forward, Big Z will be your power forward, and then Mark Eden will be your center. I think that's a perfectly good squad to run with and didn't really spend too much of your MT budget. But looking at the next squad here coming in from Sosa, he's got 150,000 MT to work with and a pretty solid squad. I would say like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Definitely got some good centers with Yao Ming and Ralph Sampson. I would say you probably want to move Bob Nedelecki to small forward. I know you got Big Z in there, so I kind of see what you're going with, and I think that can work. Honestly, that actually works. You know what? I'm going to keep that. I do like that, having Big Z there in the lineup. What I would do, though, I think you really only need Luka. If you were to go ahead and get Luka Doncic, play him at the starting point guard position, you might have to save up a little of MT to get him, but if you can get Luka, I would start him at point guard, bring Scotty Barnes off the bench, and I think you're good to go, because then you got Earl Lloyd next to Jonathan Isaac and Scotty Barnes, who's going to have some height and defense around him, which I think you need next to Earl Lloyd. And then, yeah, I think you got great offense off the bench. You got pretty good defense and size. And then Luka's going to fit perfectly next to AK, Big Z, and Bob Nedelecki. And him and Yao Ming in that pick and roll is pretty much unstoppable. So if you just want to make one big upgrade, I think Luka Doncic is really the only card you need for this type of squad. Looking at the next team here, though, coming in from Icy Swish, he's got 300,000 MT, looking for endgame Kevin Durant, wondering if he should save up. I mean, if Kevin Durant's your favorite player, the answer is probably yes, just because it's the best KD card we'll get for the entire year. If you don't really like KD that much and you're just wondering because he's the best card in the game, I know Kevin Durant's going to be really good for a long period of time, but I think we should wait to see the first couple endgame drops, because we know endgame Taco's coming, Yao Ming, LeBron, all these top tier cards are going to get endgames. KD will definitely be one of the best endgames though, because he's 6'10" at shooting guard. I would say like probably save your MT. If you want to make some upgrades right now, what I would do is probably upgrade Hakeem, and that's pretty much it. Maybe move Dikembe to power forward and then get like Mark Eden. That's what I would do. So I'd get Mark Eden. Actually, you know what you could do? Get rid of Hakeem, start Dikembe next to Mark Eden, right? So your starting front court is going to be Dikembe and Mark Eden, and then backup bench front court is going to be Dikembe, right? Dikembe is going to be, hold on, what was I doing? Dikembe starting with Mark Eden, Ralph Sampson to the bench. Your bench front court is going to be Jokic and Ralph Sampson. For your two small forwards, I would try to upgrade Zion, get a KG, a Jonathan Isaac, a Josh Smith, a Karl Malone. I think all of those cards are better options. And then I think you're pretty much good to go. A very valid squad so far. Looking at the next team here though, coming in from AB, he's got 3.8 mil, and he wants to know what I would do with 3.8 mil. I mean, you could definitely upgrade your bench for sure. Depends how much MT you want to spend, because if you want to spend a lot, what I would do for backup point guard, even just get Ron Artest. I think Ron Artest is a lot better than Titans Ben Simmons, so just get Ron Artest to play backup point guard next to T-Mac. I think that's good to go. For backup small forward, I would maybe look to make your one big purchase as Bull. Start Bull and then have Chet off the bench. For your backup power forward, once again, if you want to spend a lot of MT, I think Kristaps is the perfect card for that backup power forward position, and then I think you're pretty much good to go. Those would be the suggestions I would make, spending a good amount of your MT, but not all of it. And then looking at the last squad here of the video, guys, is going to be another God squad for my boy Victor. 300,000 MT after my auction sell, looking for an offensive backup 2 or 3 to replace Steve Smith. So he wants a better backup shooting guard. I think that's pretty much all you need. And if you want him to be offensive, I mean, there's some pretty good options. Carmelo, you already got Tim Thomas. Didn't see that. Carmelo, though, I think is probably your best choice. KG at shooting guard, move Kit. You could do that. More offensive end, yeah. So if you want more of an offensive guy, I think Carmelo is the perfect shooting guard, you know, to pair alongside Ben Simmons and AK. So for your squad, I would just get Carmelo Anthony. He might be in the 300K range if he's a little bit more expensive than that. I'm trying to think of some budget guys. I mean, Vince Carter, He's cheap, but I would save up for Carmelo Anthony. That's really the only suggestions that you need for your squad. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of this series where I rate and improve your guys' team. Like I said earlier, let me know in the comment section down below your guys' squad and how much MT you guys have, and I'll try to give you guys as many as people best suggestions as possible, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.